Hey you guys, I wanted to talk about tonight about something that's just been on my mind the past few days. Um, so it's like been a week since my Facebook accounts have been suspended, and you would think it shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? But I guess for me, in all my like relocations and career changes and living so far away from my hometown of Ohio, I really love that connection. And because I have close to 1,000 contacts on Facebook, and I honestly could say probably 98% of them I personally know. Either I've met them along the way, maybe met them on an airplane trip, maybe they're a friend from high school, maybe they're a friend from college, maybe they're someone who stayed in a house I lived in at one point in San Francisco, maybe they're new friends here in Reno. It just is a loss. So when I think about like what this arbitrary decision that Facebook made to shut down my accounts has done to me, who's a pretty well networked person, and parts of lots of different groups and stuff like that. I guess the impact isn't just the business impact; it's an emotional impact too, for sure. Since I've been on Facebook since 2008, I can't think of a day probably that I haven't been on Facebook and connected and saw someone's. I mean, I've watched kids grow up on Facebook. I've watched my friends from college, their kids are in college now on Facebook. People have been watching my daughter, go through the phases. Me as a stay at home mom, me as a career woman. It's just a lot more than just a social media presence. It was real emotional connections for me, and not having them in my life. I'm definitely struggling with it. I was happy to see some friends tonight because I belong to this Christian networking group, and I'm in the leadership team there. And everyone's an IM talking about like what's happening with the group and stuff, and I'm not on it. And I really miss that because that was like my daily, or whenever I wanted to pop in, I could just see like what's happening or what's going on or who are we praying for or those kinds of things. And now I don't even have access to that. And today it really just kind of hit me hard of all the things I don't have access to. I miss seeing pictures of my nieces and nephews. I miss seeing memories that come up, especially when it comes to my sister who passed away a couple of years ago, being the administrator of her memorial account, that I don't have access to that. There's just so much deeper impact than Facebook just, or Meta or Oculus, whoever, just arbitrarily shutting down my accounts with no cause and me not having a way to fix it. Like, I just feel like this loss of these contacts amongst all my networks goes deeper than just superficial. For me, my gosh, it got me through so many phases in my life when I would lose a job or whatever, staying in touch with former bosses and mentors. I mean, I'm just really kind of hurting right now. I mean, I'm not kind of hurting. I am hurting right now. It's like a loss. And I'm kind of grieving those connections that I don't have anymore. And yeah, I have them on LinkedIn. And yes, I have people here that I talk to and stuff, but it's not the same as that across the miles connection that I've had every day of my life since 2008. And I'm realizing it hasn't just been about me sharing what's going on in my life, which I'm sure there must be somebody who's missing out on that because I share a lot. It's that comfort I get from seeing what's happening in other people's life. And for me, it hasn't been about comparison or competition or the negative part of it. For me, it's been the positive part of these connections that I've needed to have and enjoyed. I've loved watching people's kids grow up, and other platforms out there don't do what Facebook does. So I even feel more strongly that if you're going to arbitrarily take something away that's been almost like a public service for so many of us for so many years, then you must have good cause And you must give me a recourse and a way to communicate back with you, to fix it or to talk about it or whatever. But it's like literally being stripped away of something that was so important to you, the people in your life that, I mean, I will never get back all those contacts. I will never, if they close my account down permanently, I will never get back those contacts from high school and from college and from people I've met along the way in all the different areas of my life, globally, across the world, in different countries. I mean, former employee, just, my sister's memory, like my family memories, like all of it, my history has been on Facebook. And it just makes me really think about how there's been this environment created for us to be able to do this in a positive way, taking all the negative stuff away, all the advertising and all the paid for stuff and like whatever, but just the pure ability to connect with people at any point of your day. And the positive parts of it are the parts that I'm missing. I don't know if there was a lot of negative for me. For me, it was more about the connection. It wasn't about the getting the likes or like whatever. It was just that comfort in seeing other people's lives maturing and changing and the moving and, and all the ways that it supported me during some of the most difficult times of my life, for sure. And to have that all gone just like that with no reason, I just feel like that's just totally wrong. And I'm not going to let it go, It isn't just business for me. And it's definitely affecting my business because I can't talk in a way that I normally do about my business because I don't have the forum for it. And it's not TikTok and it's not YouTube. I mean, I wish it was, but it's not. It's just not the same. All the history is in Facebook for me. And it's definitely a warning call. Like, I was talking to my group tonight. I'm like, make sure that we're just not doing things on Facebook because I know some people aren't on it, but also what happens if we lose it? What happens if we don't have this forum anymore? What happens if someone loses access to it? How do we connect with them? Because right now I know for me, I've kind of felt like in the dark. And that's a very weird place for me to feel. I don't think I've ever felt that in all my moves, relocations, things I've gone through since 2008. So, it's a long time to have something in your life that is a part of your life almost every day. Just as a checkpoint, and maybe I didn't even use it every day. Sometimes I probably did, but it's more than it's not even an addiction. It's like there was this accepted comfort knowing that you could connect with people in an easy way throughout your life. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. So if anyone's feeling that's gone through this, I get you. And feel free to drop me a line. And this isn't about getting my account back or, going through the process of getting through my account back through loopholes or whatever. This is about creating content so that Facebook understands, or Meta, Oculus, whoever it is, understands that when you take that away from somebody, you could really be hurting them emotionally. I'm a pretty stable person, so I'm okay. But I got to imagine if someone out there is getting it taken away from them, it could really be harmful. And we need to think about that because we created this. This thing has been created that's a part of a lot of our lives every single day. And it goes beyond. It goes beyond where it is. It just goes beyond this whole idea that you can just take it away. You have to have a way to communicate, to figure out how to get it back, or at least to have your case be heard, or whatever it is. All right, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good night. Bye.